Hey, folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're going to look at a brand new band for us, and it's actually a modern band. They've been around for about 10 years. First I've heard of them. And actually, the lead singer is only 21 years old, so I'm not sure how that works. Her brother is on lead guitar at age 25. The band is The Haunt. We're going to look at a song today called Teeth that just dropped. They just dropped their video, at least for it, a couple of days ago. I heard a little bit of the song, and it struck me immediately as something that sounded to me like Holy Wars. I haven't heard much yet, but it just sounded like something that maybe would be of people's interest. And so I've only seen about 5 seconds of it so far, so I'm looking forward to checking out more. This band is actually from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And of course, since they're siblings, that's probably why the band's been around so long. Okay, so they've got a few things out there. Like I say, we don't know very much about the band, but it just sounds promising. So we thought we'd check it out. Adrian, any thoughts before we start?
I'm looking forward to it. A song called Teeth by a band called Haunt.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool to me.
I mean, even the name, The Haunt, it almost sounds like they know the warning. Like the names are not that dissimilar in terms of, giving this feeling, Anyway, let's go ahead and check it out. We'll talk about it afterwards.
All right.
Your eyes and that broken stare laying next to me, but you're not all there. 6 months and you still don't care. What a waste of time, what a cruel affair. Somehow it's my fault. You're bleeding through your teeth, hammering your chest with the lies you're keeping honest. Wishing nothing but the worst till your heart stops beating. With the lies you're keeping. Till your heart stops beating. We're always repeating history. Drink our feelings till we're dizzy. Your kiss, no, it burns like whiskey. If I leave, baby, will you miss me? Somehow it's my fault. You're bleeding through your teeth, hammering your chest with the lies you're keeping honest. Wishing nothing but the worst till your heart stops beating. With the lies you're keeping. Till your heart stops beating. You're bleeding through your teeth, hammering your chest with the lies you're keeping honest. Wishing nothing but the worst till your heart stops beating. With the lies you're keeping. Till your heart stops beating.
Okay, well, thoughts, Adrian?
What's with all the blood?
Well,
Everyone's wearing white, so the blood stands out.
well, yeah.
Song sounds good, however, it's like the singer's got a good voice, I think. I like the guitars. I like the music. The imagery is a little I don't know.
It's funny you say that about the warning too on a lot of their things, which is funny to me.
I was thinking, this is what used to be called shock rock a little while ago, like a couple decades ago.
Yeah, probably a couple decades at this point. But yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, these days, not so shocking.
I guess not. But I would still give it a 4 stars out of 5 because of the music. I mean, I did like the song.
Yeah, I like the music a lot, I must say. And I heard her saying you're bleeding through your teeth. You know, and I'm trying to understand why she's hammering those poor roses. You know, he didn't do anything to her. Yeah, so what are you doing? They're just sitting there. So clearly there's some issues she's working through, you know. That's okay. You know, we're used to music like that. And yeah, I actually like the band quite a bit. I do feel like they were aiming for mass popularity with the way the song was constructed. But you know what? I don't dock points for that. And in fact, it's still a pretty cool track. You know, it actually sounded like it had similar production on it to the Anton DeLoss stuff we heard on Keep Me Fed. Well, I mean, he did the whole thing, but you know what I mean. I want to see if I can find out who produced that. I've got a new thing called Claws, a new EP called Claws up, but I can't find any. And this is a pet peeve I have with a lot of new bands. They say, well, here's the album. Now here are the links to go visit it. And I'm like, wait a minute, who produced it? You know, who played on it? Who wrote the songs? These are the things I want to know. Maybe just as being, you know, the older person. I don't know. I don't think so, though. I think everybody still, you know, if they think about it, they're like, yeah, I'd like to know about that. Yeah, so I can't find, and I'm looking, and maybe I'm looking too fast, but I am not seeing any actual credits. And I'm not picking on you if you're watching The Haunt, because this is something that a lot of bands do. A lot of young bands are doing, or a lot of people touring today, and it drives me crazy. Yeah, I don't see anything. Tell us a little bit about who's on there and how this thing got made. You know, that's the stuff we want to know about. You know, that's how we become fans, you know. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, I did like that song a lot. I might poke around their social media a little bit to see if I can get a better sense of who they are, where this all came from. But I did like the track. I would not be unhappy if I were somewhere, maybe they were opening for somebody and I just saw them. I'd be like, yeah, okay, I like this. I'll watch their set. You know, there's enough here to keep me hooked.
I'd probably like to see them live, as long as they don't have blood all over the place.
All right, duck, everybody. No, you're bloody, and you're bloody.
I know I used to be a Gene Simmons fan and everything, and watch him do it. But I mean, when he did it, you could tell it wasn't blood.
Right, yeah.
It was like pink or something almost.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, we've got a better shade of red in this video.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's more realistic in this one.
Well, I do like the band. I want to hear more. If anybody out there has heard of the band before, is a fan, has a favorite song, let us know about it. Leave a suggestion for us, because we definitely would like to check out more. And if you've seen them, too, let us know about that. We'd be really interested. It looks to me like right now they're doing a tour over in Europe. I'm sure they'll come back at some point, so maybe worth checking out. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right. Don't forget, we have a second channel now, Modern Rock Talk, where we're putting all our interviews. There's already 3 up over there. You'll see a link to it in our end screen, which is coming up right now. All right. Thanks, folks, for joining us, and take care.
See you all later.